Om Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaya Tyambakaya Tipurantakaya Tikalagni Kalaya Kalagni Rudraya Nilakantaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Shriman Mahadevaya Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So Bhagavan, Lord Krishna, continues with the next verse, which is verse number 32. Okay. So please repeat after me. Mam hi partha vipashritya. Mam hi partha vipashritya. Yepi syu papayonayah. Yepi syu papayonayah. Sriyo vaishyastatha shudraha. Sriyo vaishyastatha shudraha. Tepi yanti param gatim. Tepi yanti param gatim. So he indeed, Partha, Arjuna, even those, yepi, even those who are pap yonaya, means who don't have a good start in their birth, like they're born in the families who are given to crime, mafia, drug addiction. So those children don't have a good start. Even those people, okay, pap yonayaha, those who are born in the families of who have tendency to do improper conduct. And then tatha, so too, striyaha vaishyaha, the women, the vaishyas and shudras, which I'll explain later on. They also taking refuge in me, they are committed to me, and they also gain the ultimate end, which is moksha, freedom from samsara. So pap yonaya, as I explained, they don't have good start. And papa is really not a sin. Papa is translated into situations. It gives you unpleasant situations. Punya gives you pleasant situations. So it's not a sin as it generally is translated. It translates into situations. And all of us have papa and punya. That's what the human birth is. Human birth is a mixture of papa and punya. And human birth is durlabha, which I'll come later on. So it's a good thing we have some papas, because we have taken the birth of a human being. If you are purely punya, lot of punya only, then you will be born as a devata in another loka, where you simply enjoy. You don't question anything. If you had lot of papas, then you take a lower birth, like animals and all that. So both of them don't have choice, whereas human birth has a choice, which will, explain further in the next verse we have. So here now the striyaha, the women are not papayonis. In fact, in our sampradaya, they have very high position, because they are mentioned here because they have some more afflictions. They bear children, they take care of the families, they are homemakers, and at the end of the day, you'll find women say, I am exhausted after doing all that work. So, in Sampradaya, they are given a higher position. No ritual is completed without permission from the house, from the lady of the house, And Upanishad also mentions Matri Devo Bhava. Mother is placed at the level of Devatas, God. May you look at your mother as God. And there are so many suktas. We worship goddesses. And their suktas are like Durga Sukta, Shri Sukta, Meda Suktam. All these are worshipping goddesses. And their stutis also, praises. Amba Stotram, Saraswati Stotram, Minakshi Stotram. All these are praises for goddesses. And you'll be surprised, there are many lady rishis are mentioned in the Vedas. In Rig Veda, mentioned 30 of them. The 30 rishis, female rishis, and they are called rishikas. And also in Upanishads, Maitri and Gargis are well known. Maitri argues, challenges Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya wants to take sannyasa. And Maitri is one of his two wives. And he wants to divide the wealth into two of them and then take off and renunciate everything. And Yajnavalkya is a famous rishi who wins almost all the debates and has earned a lot of wealth in terms of cows and highly respected. But there, his wife challenges him, Maitri. He says, "You're giving me all this wealth. Would this wealth solve my problem? All this wealth, would it give me freedom? Would it make me free from this samsara?" He said, "No. Wealth cannot give you even a whiff of some moksha. It only binds you. And therefore, she said, what should I do? Teach me. Give me that knowledge which you've been teaching others and I have heard living with you. So give me that knowledge, will give me freedom." So she has a debate with him. Then Gargi in King Janaka's kingdom, there was an assembly of the Vidwans, of the scholars, and there Gargi had a debate with Yajnavalkya again, and she proved to be equivalent to Rishi, and Yajnavalkya was surprised. Even our Lord Dakshinamurti is Ardhanarishwara. If you see left side of Lord Dakshinamurti, if you see the earring, is a female earring. Half side is female, other half side is male. So they are highly respected. So they are not, considered part of that group. She is not Papyoni. She is along with, because of the afflictions, she is mentioned here. And in Smriti, it is mentioned, Yatra naryaha tu pujyante ramante tatra devataha yatra etaha tu na pujyante sarvaha tatra afalaha kriyaha. In which house the women are worshipped, there the devatas are happy. Where they are not worshipped, there all their kriyas, all their activities become afalaha, means don't bring any good result. This is how our Shastra looks upon them. Okay. Then those again, Vaishyaha. Vaishya means, business people. Those who are in business, often lying is involved. So there are some papas are there. If you're selling, your motivation is to sell. Motivation is not to be truthful. You go buy a dress, and the salesperson says, and you'd say, "How does it look?" She will say, "Looks wonderful." I say, "I don't know about that." "Okay, I'll try another one." "Okay, try another." She will ask, "How does it look?" "This also looks wonderful." You buy, both of them you can buy. So the motivation is to sell, not to be truthful. If they are truthful, they are becoming almost like sannyasis. So the companies take over the other company. They call it's a cutthroat business. Means you're cutting the throat of others. That's again a papa. And laying people off, it also hurts people. There's a pain involved. And they that's why they do a lot of dhanam, prayashchitta. They know they are not doing right, and they give a lot of dhanam. And so they are bhaktas, They are those who have taken refuge, vyapashritya, those who have taken refuge in Bhagavan, even they achieve the ultimate end. Okay. In this one, if you see some of the business people in the south I have seen, in their businesses, as you enter, they have built a temple right there in the business compound. Because they know there might be some papas and they do worship to Bhagavan. So they also, it depends on your commitment, it depends upon your devotion, and it depends, and Shraddha, you got to have Shraddha that any papa will bring an unpleasant situation. So but even these lifestyles have some afflictions, have some unfavorable conditions, like some papas. But still, if they have taken refuge in Bhagavan's presence, they have committed to know Bhagavan, they committed to be free from this samsara. They are also, Bhagavan says, they also reach ultimate end. Next one we have is Shudraha. Shudraha, karma-wise division. Is those who do menial job. Okay. They are, they are in old time. They are even current situation. So they are denied certain Vedic rituals and certain dharmas, rituals, prayers, and all the certain things. Prayers they can do themselves. But some other Vedic rituals are denied. But Bhagavan says, it doesn't matter. They can come directly to me. Because what is the purpose of rituals? What is the purpose of prayers? Is to reach Bhagavan. Is to know Bhagavan. The moksha is knowing Bhagavan. Because moksha is knowing yourself, and yourself happens to be same with Ishvara. There's only one limitless conscious being. There are no two conscious beings. You are conscious or not conscious. You are conscious being. If you are conscious being, Bhagavan is conscious being, there's only one conscious being, then how come we have division? And the Shastra says, Tat Tvamasi. The whole teaching tradition is Tat Tvamasi. That Ishvara, Tvam Asi, you are. Asi means are. Tvam means you. That Ishvara, you are. See, the division, if we think Ishvara is different from me, then you don't need to study. Then there's no need of tradition. There's no need of Shastra. Because you ask anybody on the street, hey, are you Ishvara? Come on, why are you making fun of me? Everyone knows. We start out with this. that I am different from Ishvara. Whereas the whole teaching tradition is to show you, is to give you the knowledge that there is no division between you and Ishvara. Then what is the problem? Problem is that Ishvara in you, you have a Sukshma Sharira, it identifies with your body. There the individuality is created. Why is identification? Because there is a cover of avidya. There is ignorance. And what does then Shastra do? What does this Sampradaya tradition does? It removes that avidya, removes that ignorance. That's why the whole teaching tradition is knowledge, vidya, Brahma Jnanam, Atma Jnanam, knowledge of the self. Why? Because the problem is avidya. You have to get rid of avidya. Okay? So the Shastra, the studies, the teaching, whole purpose is to give you the knowledge of yourself. Once you see the knowledge of yourself, you see the division between Ishvara and you are only because of Upadhi Bheda. Upadhi is like you wear clothes, your body, which is, if you further analyze it, it's not as real as we think it is. Okay? But anyway, so that division is because your body is limited body, Ishvara's body is limitless body. The whole Jagat is Ishvara's Upadhi. For you, the Upadhi is your body, your mind, your senses. Ishvara doesn't have that. Ishvara is, whole Jagat is his Upadhi. So here, so they can come directly to Bhagavan. Even if they are denied other religious activities. And in our Shastra, there are many sages who were Shudras. Satyakama Jabala in Chandogya Upanishad. Satyakama was the son of Jabala. He wanted to study in a Gurukula of Rishi Gautama Haridramata. The teacher asked him, "What is your family background?" Because they teach only certain family backgrounds, not everyone. So, what is your family background? He told the truth. I said, my mother told me she worked in many houses and she doesn't know who his father is. And the Rishi got shocked. He says, "You are so innocent and so truthful. You are a Brahmana. Guna-wise, you are a Brahmana." And he admitted him. He said, "You are fit to study. You can join my Gurukulam," he said. And we have other Shudras who were sages. Valmiki was a robber. He became a rishi. He wrote the Ramayana. We have Shabari. She was a tribal woman, but she has so much Shraddha in Lord Rama. And she was studying with Rishi Matanga. And Matanga told her, "One day you will meet Rama." So she waited every day in the forest where her kutia was for Rama to come. And Rama came. And she had plucked berries and tasted every berry because she did not want to give to Lord Rama any sour or bitter berry. And the Lord Rama took all of them. Why? Because of her Shraddha, Bhakti, devotion. So they were tribal women, you know. So all these people, and Vidura, you know Vidura very well. He was a Shudra, but he was respected by Kauravas and Pandavas. He followed dharma. He was committed to dharma. And a wise man was considered as a wise man, Vidura. So they all are really speaking of forms of Ishvara. Same Atma playing the roles of different people. Doesn't matter which form we have. It's the same Asha, same Atma. That's the whole idea. And that the wise people know. There is a verse called, in Bhagavad Gita, you might have already gone through that. Vidya vinya sampanne brahmane gavi hastini shunicha eva shopakecha panditaha samdarshinaha. A wise person, pandita means wise person, sees same thing, same Atma. In a Brahmana who's endued with knowledge and humility, Vinaya, in a cow, Hastani in an elephant, Shunicha in a dog, Shopakecha in a dog eater, and dog eater, Samadarshinaha. They see the same Atma in all of them, the wise man. Because one Atma is playing the roles with different people. They have different karmas, they have different bodies, different minds. The Ishvara behind in all of us. So, okay. So this is with respect to these people who have, some afflictions and some small papas, and they are committed, and they also gain the same ultimate end. Now, next one is Kim punar brahmanaha punyaha Kim punar brahmana punyaha Bhakta rajashayastatha Bhakta rajashayastatha Anityamasukham lokam Imam prapya bhajasvamam Imam prapya bhajasvamam. Okay, now, what about Brahmanas? Those who have a good start, So, Bap you only have born with some handicap. But here, Brahmanas who are born with some advantage. Why? Because their home atmosphere is of Vedic chanting, Vedic study, following good values of Shama, Dama, Tapa, Arjavam. These are people who are born in a Brahmana family, Guna Brahmana family, who follow these values, who follow these scriptures, who study these scriptures. So what atmosphere there is all of Ishvara, of all of Shastra. So they already have these samskaras in them for this teaching. So what to talk of them? They have Shama, they have Dama, Tapaha, Arjavam, Ahimsa, and they're living a simple and disciplined life. And their family life is through generations, is coming up like this. Even when the mother was bearing the child, the atmosphere, she is listening all these stotras, listening all these Vedic mantras, is all that samskaras are gone in. So the person's mind is already all prepared, well prepared, So what to talk of them is so easy for them. And they are punyaha, because they are, born in a punya family, is a good birth, has a good start, head start. They are bhaktaha, and those brahmanas which are bhaktas, they are devoted. Because some of the brahmanas are involved in leather business or which are not prescribed by the Shastra. They'll get into improper professions and all that, So they have to be bhaktas. Punyaha, bhaktaha, and similarly Rajarshayaha. They are sages and they are royal families, kings and sages. And they are like, Janaka, King Janaka and all that, they are rishis and they are also royal families. So they are well brought up, well disciplined, well brought up, well educated, and they have some skaras which will be very easy for them to get the ultimate end, Bhagavan says. And even now, you see some brahmanas, they carry panchpatram. It's a small brass vessel with a spoon. Because they're orthodox people. They say while talking they might have used some not very good word, or they might have hurt somebody a little bit. So what they do is they take the water and this vessel is there. They'll say Achyutaya Nama, Anantaya Nama, Govindaya Nama anytime they talk to somebody afterwards, So they are do the prashchitta, repent. They repent if there anything wrong has been done or any wrong word is used. And they are very highly cultured, well brought up. They belong to the families who have been following religious life through generations, as I mentioned. You can imagine the samskaras they will have for this teaching. Okay. And they are bhaktas. Now, if this is so, what should we do? Bhagavan says, hey, you can say, well, we are happy, we're fine. We get some joys and we don't need this teaching. We need not to be free. We are okay, as most of people do. But Bhagavan says, hey, the sharira you have anitya sharira. It's the world. So, anityam asukham lokam prapya. Having gained the lokam manushya loka, manushya deha, which is anityam, is temporary, not permanent, asukham. It does not really have sukham. You see, even if you see you have sukha, let's say temporary sukha, okay. The sukha does not last very long. You say, I want a job. I don't have a job. I'll be happy if I get a job. You get a job and you're happy. You say, I want to buy a new car, and you bought a car. You are happy, temporary. It lasts only for some time. You want to buy a house. You bought a house. There is sukha, but it's all temporary. So this jagat, it really does not have that permanent sukham. And then your deha also, your body also, is changing all the time. Situation also is anityam, is not permanent, changing all the time. So this, what you depend on, that this jagat will give me happiness, it can't give you happiness. It does not have intrinsically happiness. In fact, any happiness you experience is from yourself. Because your mind's demand is cancelled and your self just pops up in the mind. You are there. So, this lokam, it is anityam, asukham, it doesn't have sukha. Having gained this, so why are you wasting this time? Okay. So, if you look at yourself, okay, if you look at yourself, the Sukshma Shrira, which manifests the Vastu, Bhagavan, Brahman, Atma, is of Satchit Ananda. Its nature is existence, awareness, and limitlessness, fullness. When the mind is not obstructed, okay, mind is not obstructed, then it appears for some time. Okay? But your own Swarupa is Anand Swarupa. So what denies this Anand Swarupa is avidya. Because you don't know your Anand Swarupa, so what happens? You identify with your body, and with that body, with that mind, whatever sukha you get, whatever happiness you get by resolving, by getting some objects. See, the objects hook you. Because when you buy a car, you appear happy. When you buy a house, you become happy. You get a job, you're happy. You get a promotion, you're happy. So it appears as though the object is giving happiness. But it is not the object. If it was the object, if it was the object, the happiness should remain always there. But it is not so. It's only, that's why we remain trapped in samsara. Because you do some improper things to get the object, and then you gain papa, and again that gives another birth. So really speaking, it is not the object. It is your own Swarupa. And that Swarupa, what we covered by avidya, and avidya is to be removed by the studies. So this, okay, now question comes, okay, there is no much sukha here, it's not nityam, so what should I do? He said, this human birth is durlabham, very difficult to get. You've been here forever, right from the beginning, anityam, right from beginningless time, we've been here. We get all the papas and punyas. Out of that sanchita karma, a small bunch comes out, pops up to give you this birth. And we don't know which one birth will be next time. So this human birth is durlabham, very difficult to get. So Bhagavan says, make use of it. Don't waste it away. It is momentary. It quickly becomes, time passes, and you find yourself old. When you're old, your senses become reduced, their sharpness is reduced, your mind is not that sharp as it used to be, your body is not cooperating, very difficult, then you don't have much energy, so you're not able to put that energy when you're old into the studies. So you got to make use of your time. Whatever time you have, don't waste it away. Okay. So Bhagavan says, what should I do? You seek me. Bhajasva mam. Seek means what? Know me. Come to know me. Gain me. Who I am. Who you are. So seek me. And how do you seek Bhagavan? by studies, by doing good karmas, by chanting, by preparing your mind. The obstruction is the mind. You have to prepare your mind. Preparation of the mind takes time. Preparation of the mind takes energy. And that, you have to spend time in that. So now, how should I seek Bhagwan? How should I seek Bhagwan? Okay. Manmana bhav mad bhaktaha, manmana bhav mad bhaktaha, madhyaji mam namaskuru, madhyaji mam namaskuru, mamei veshyasi yuktvevam, atmanam matparayanaha, atmanam matparayanaha. Bhagavan says, man mana bhava. Man mana bhava means in your mind should be only me, nothing else. Man mana bhava. Committed to me. Okay. The one in whose mind I am the only one. Okay. Now how could you be the only one, Bhagavan? Okay. I have family, I have bills to pay, I have children, I have to take care of them, I have job, I have to go to work, I have to think of my job, I think of my relatives. How would I be manmana? How could I be thinking of all the time of Bhagavan? I don't have time. I'm so busy. So that requires understanding, Bhagavan says. That requires understanding. The Shastra says, Vasudeva Sarvam. The whole Jagat is Vasudeva, Ishvara. How could the whole Jagat be Ishvara? Look at the creation. Any effect you see, there's a cause for it. If there's a chain, its cause is gold, golden chain. If you see a pot, its cause is clay. Its cause is clay. And the effect, karya, is non-separate from the clay, more non-separate from the karna. If it's a golden chain, it's non-separate from the gold. If it's clay pot, it's non-separate from the clay. So karya is non-separate from the karana. What about this Jagat? In the Upanishad, Bhagavan says, the Shastra says, Sa Aikshata. In the beginning, when the creation had to come, he saw the Jagat, what it was in the previous creation. Sa Abhavat. He became the creation. Okay. So, he became the creation and he entered into the creation. Anupravesha. Shastra, Shruti is there. So, he entered into the creation. So now, the Karana is Ishvara, Satchidananda. And Karya is Jagat. So where would you look for Ishvara? Where would you look for gold in a chain? Where would you look for clay in a pot? you have to look at the Jagat. Because Jagat is non-separate from Ishvara. So what it is, the whole thing is Ishvara. The whole Jagat is Ishvara. You look at your body, it's non-separate from Ishvara. It is Ishvara. You look at your wife, it's non-separate from Ishvara. You look at your children, they're non-separate from Ishvara. They are Ishvara. You look at your boss, boss is Ishvara. It's non-separate from Ishvara. There's only one Vastu. Gold, any chain, any ring, any type of jewelry made of gold, it's all gold. You look at space, Ishvara. Look at air, Ishvara, Vayu. Fire, Agni, Ishvara, because it's Karya. It's Karya. So there is nothing else but Ishvara. Nothing else. We fight, we scream, we have problems with other people, all because of ignorance, not knowing who we are, not knowing Ishvara, not knowing the nature of Bhagavan. So now, the whole Jagat is Ishvara. So when you look, Man Mana Bhava, in your mind is all Ishvara. You look anywhere, it's only Ishvara. You go to work, your boss is Ishvara. Project is Ishvara. Whatever you do is Ishvara. And Bhagavan, the creation, the Jagat runs at different levels, different orders. You view those different orders, different laws as Ishvara. You look at it as Ishvara. There you are when you look at it, Ishvara, you accept things as they are. They are gifts given to you. Your children are gifts to you. Your body is a gift to you. Your spouse is a gift to you. Because they are Ishvara. And then within the order, within the laws, all these things are happening with you. At your own level, internal level, there is an order. At physical level, emotional level, intellectual level, all these different levels which are orders of Ishvara, you look at them as Ishvara's orders and you accept them. You accept your things at home, in life, as Ishvara. It's coming from the laws of Ishvara. The activities you do, you offer it to Ishvara. And whatever the result comes, it is prasadam. Take it as prasadam. Ishvara. So that's manmana. At every level, you have to see Ishvara. Otherwise, how would you think of Bhagavan all the time in your mind? You can't. To be manmana, you have to understand Ishvara. You have to have knowledge of Ishvara. Some understanding is involved. So here, manmana bhav means understand me. And to be manmana, okay, to be manmana, Did we chant this verse? Okay, all right. So, to be manmana, mad bhaktaha. You can't be manmana unless you are bhakta. You have to have devotion. Otherwise, how would you think of Ishvara in everything? With understanding, you understand Ishvara. But even to try to understand Ishvara, you got to have devotion, bhakti. So it says, mad bhakta bhava. Be my devotee. Have shraddha in me. And then, to enhance the devotion, mad yaji bhava. Yaji means worship, prayers, pujas, rituals. To do rituals to enhance the bhakti. When the bhakti is enhanced, you will go for teaching, you will understand Bhagavan, man mana bhav, your mind will remain in me, because you understand me. Mam namaskuru, surrender to me. You surrender by doing namaskar. Namaskar means surrender to me. Namaskar, do namaskar to me. How? Physically, by words, and by thinking, manasa. By mind, you can do manas japa, manas puja. Orally, by words, you can do prayers. And physically, you do namaskar. Ashtang namaskara is there. So you namaskara, you do surrender to me. Mam ev aishyasi muktva evam atmanam matparayanaha. He says, in this Bhagavan says, yuktva evam atmanam, being endured with yourself, evam atmanam, your mind being endured with all these values, with all these what we have mentioned. Okay. Being endured with matparayanaha, being the one who considers Bhagavan as the ultimate ashraya, taking refuge with Bhagavan. Having taken refuge is the one who has taken refuge in Bhagavan. He says, Mam ev eshyasi. You will gain me. You will reach me. You will understand me. You will become one with me. Eshyasi means you will gain me. Gain which way? How would you become one with Ishvara? By knowing there's only one Ishvara. There's no jiva. Jiva is a byproduct. There's no real jiva. It is a byproduct of you, Atma, and ignorance, avidya. It's a byproduct. That's where the jiva is born. There's only Atma. There's only Ishvara. There's no second thing. So how come you become a jiva? There are pockets of ignorance, even though Atma is limitless. But there are pockets of ignorance. Each pocket of ignorance, there is sukshma sharira. When Atma, avidya being there, Atma is self-conscious, becomes conscious, because it reflects through sukshma sharira. It is self-conscious, but it doesn't know who I am. But it's conscious, doesn't know who I am because of avidya, ignorance. Then it makes judgment, whatever is in the front. It identifies with body because there is a sukshma sharira which is limited to the body. It makes a judgment that I am only this much. Whatever the body is, I'm a male, I'm a female. It makes judgment based on the mind I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, whatever the knowledge you have, it identifies with that. That individuality is created. Individuality is jiva, jivatvam. There is no real being there. Being is only atma. There is no jiva being there. Jiva is only a status, kartritvam, bhoktritvam, karta, bhokta. And that person is the one who is collecting all the karmas. Now what happens when you come to know about yourself that you are Atma? This Jivattam really is not the real beingness. There's no being in there. Because the I you use is Atma's I. It's Atma's I. But use the same I as I am so and so. I am a male, I am a female. Same I. Because same one conscious being. So same I now identifies with body, mind, senses, and another as though entity is created, which is called jiva. It's a false guy. Jiva has all the karmas done from the beginningless time, sanchita karma. And now you are going, what are you exhausting your it's a prarabdha karma. What karma you are exhausting now? The prarabdha karma. But you're gaining more karmas for the future, agami karmas. Sanchita is all collected karmas. They're countless. Because there was no such time when you were not here. Because Vidya is always here. Vidya doesn't have beginning. If it had a beginning, and then before the beginning, what was? Knowledge? That means there's no Vidya. Vidya doesn't come back like that. So that avidya being there and jivattam is created, and jiva being from time, beginningless time, has countless karmas. That means next janma, you have to have next janma because of the karmas. Why do we have this janma? Because of the karmas of the past. Why did you get this body this time? Because of the karmas of the past. And before that body, because of karmas of the past. So how would you, next janma has to be there because of karmas. And then again, next, there's no end to it. So now suppose, in a court, the fellow has murdered some people, and his sentencing day has come. And so the day the sentence has to happen, in the morning this fellow commits suicide. Okay, he was the karta. What happens to his case of whatever actions were? What happened to the result of his actions he has to take? What sentence the judge should give? Can't. The fellow is gone. The karta is gone. Similarly here, when jiva comes to recognize, hey, I am not jiva. Jiva is only a status. It's created by avidya. I is the same I in all of us, Atma's I. We borrow that I. That I comes to know, I am not jiva. I am not this deha. Because I can objectify the deha. Subject, I am subject who can objectify the deha, objectify the space, objectify the room, objectify other people, but I am the subject. So if I am the subject, I can objectify my body. Therefore, I am not the body. I can objectify my mind. I say, my mind is upset today. My mind is angry. I am the subject who can see the mind. I am the subject who can see the my knowledge I have. So the subject I comes to recognize by knowing that I am not this jiva. This is only a temporary status I have because I identify with body, mind and senses. I am Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. The I belongs really to Brahman, to Atma. And there's no second I. You are that I. You come to recognize, hey, I am not jiva. Jivatvam was only a status you are having, not a being. Jiva doesn't have a being. Beingness only belongs to Atma, Aham. Then what happens to those karmas? Jiva is resolved in I, Atma. Is gone. Then who these karmas belong to? To whom these karmas belong to? To that jiva. But jiva is resolved, dissolves in Brahman itself. Comes to recognize I am not the jiva. Then whose karmas they belong to? Jiva is gone. Karmas are disintegrated. There is no one to claim. The one who has to claim became one with Ishvara. This is what moksha is. You are free. You are always free. Atma was always free. But because of ignorance, the identification takes place and another entity is created, which is a false entity, jivatvam. So what is there only is Atma and Atma's jagat, Atma's body, which is the jagat. And that, the whole thing is Ishvara and the jagat. Jagat is Ishvara. When you identify with yourself as I, not as Deha, then you say, I am all this. I am Jagat. I and Ishvara are one and the same. I was mistaken. I got lost in the world because Maya is very powerful. It's Vaichitriam Jagat. Unbelievably powerful. It grabs you, takes you away from yourself. In between gives you some sukha here and there for you to just enjoy, and hooks you to stay in the world. Because it is powerful. It is Bhagavan's creation. Vaichitriam. So much variety, so much attraction. How could you avoid? Impossible. That's why you need Bhagavan's grace. We need prayers. We need studies. We need good karmas. All this to prepare the mind to understand that you are the one what you are looking for. What are you looking for? I want to live long. You're looking for Sat. means existence. I don't want to die. Sat. Chit. I am not ignorant. I don't want to be ignorant. Because your nature is Jnanam. Satyam Jnanam Anantam. You want to live because you are Sat. You are Chit. And you don't want to have any dukkha because your Swarupa is Ananda or Anantyam, limitless, Purna, full. This is what your Swarupa is. But you're constantly struggling to go back to your Swarupa. You're constantly looking for that Swarupa in the world. And the world does hook you up because that Swarupa shows up in between. When the mind is resolved, Swarupa shows up. When you laugh, in a moment of joy, you experience yourself Sukha, Ananda. It shows up. You bought a car, it shows up. There's happiness. You bought a house, shows up, it's happiness. So your own Swarupa in between, in the Jagat, shows up, which hooks you that as though the Sukha is coming from the object. But in reality, the Jagat is Asukham. It has no capacity to give Sukha. It's your Sukha you experience as though it appears coming from the object outside. So this is the teaching. You are what you are looking for. You are what you want to be. But your Swarupa you don't know. Your nature you don't know. This is how tradition is of teaching. Tattvamasi, of Shastra, of Sampradaya, to unlock the words of the Shastra, to make you see who you are. By yourself reading the Shastra, you can't figure it out. No way. Because there are contradictions, and the words are locked. So to unlock the words by creating context and all that, that's why the Sampradaya becomes important. See, Vidya is, you have a Vidya, and if you could have got rid of it, you could have got rid of it a long time ago. You can't, because it has to come from outside to destroy the ignorance. The light has to come from outside to destroy the darkness. The knowledge has to come from outside to destroy the ignorance about yourself. You could not figure out yourself. Even though you experience yourself, you could not figure it out. So that's why the knowledge becomes the most important thing, to be free. Because you are already free. If you are not free, you can never be free. If you are permanently bound, your nature was a bondage. If its reality is its bondage, you can never get rid of it. If the nature of fire is heat and light, you can never get rid of it. Because your nature is freedom, already free. It's not once in a while comes and goes. Your nature remains the same, free. That's why you can discover freedom. That's why you can get rid of ignorance. And that's why there's this concept called moksha, that there is such thing as freedom, total freedom, absolute freedom. That is being one with Ishvara. Okay? We'll continue in half an hour. Yeah, break for now. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Next session we'll spend some time question answer. Also we'll do some meditation too. So because next chapter is 10th chapter, so I don't want to start chapter because now other teachers will come in, Swami Muktatmanji will be here continuing. Swami Tattvavinanji will be here later on. So we were just substituting. We are substitute teachers. So because in winter months, they all gone to India. So myself and Suryaji, Pratyek Atmaji, we were just doing these 4 sessions. Okay, Om.